What's happening, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and welcome to week 4 of my weekly NFL pick show for the 2015-2016 NFL season. As you might be able to tell from the tone of my voice, I'm a little nasally this week. I don't know if it's a hay fever or what it is, so we're going to try to get through this week's video as quick as we possibly can so I can go the hell back to bed. Last week was a great week for a lot of prognosticators to get back off the schneid, if you will, from week 2. Straight up in week 3, I had a fantastic week. I was 13-3, so very, very good picking straight up. Against the spread, I was 10-6, which ties my best week of the season. And over-under, I was also 9-6-1. I believe that is our first over 500 week for the over-under, so we're getting a little bit better, getting a little bit closer to where we need to be. Right now I sit 31-17 straight up, which actually matches my best effort after 3 weeks since I've been doing this. I believe it matches 2013. Against the spread, I'm 26-21-1 on the year, and over under I've pulled my record up to 22-25 with a push. Platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, I also swept the table on those 4 for the first time this season. Finally got a platinum pick right. Bronze pick, Arizona demolished San Francisco 47-7. Silver pick, told you to take Carolina to beat New Orleans. That worked out. They had to come back, but that worked out, 27-22. Seattle pitches a shutout at home against the lowly, dysfunctional, and apparently fire sale Chicago Bears, 26-0. New England also decimated Jacksonville, as I told you they would, both on my video and in the Wise Guys as my guest whack of the week. 51-17, New England cruised over the Jags. My bronze pick is now 3-0 on the season. My silver and my gold are both 2-1, and my platinum pick finally got one in the win column at 1-2. Taking a look at the Bridgewater's finest pick'em pool for season 4, I moved up only 1 spot despite the fact that I had a really good week. As I said, a lot of other progs also had a great week last week. I sit in 9th place now out of 49 managers, so we picked up a couple more managers along the way. 270 out of 408 possible confidence points. That is a clip of 66%, so we're moving back in the right direction. Week 3, I pulled in 121 out of 136 possible confidence points for an excellent clip of 89% on the week. But shout out to our week 3 winner, tying the best overall week that we have ever had in the pick'em pool. That goes to Team Wallner. Team Wallner was an unbelievable 15-1. Now, I don't believe anyone has ever gone 15-1 in the pick'em pool before, so shout out for setting a new record there. And 131 out of 136 possible confidence points. That ties my personal best, which was the overall personal best. We also have a new overall leader, kind of. Brady is free. Takes over as the new overall leader based on straight up record. So here's how this works. Brady is free is 33-15-0 on the season for 283 out of 408 possible confidence points, a clip of 69%. But the former overall leader, GioKnows, has the same number of confidence points correct in 283, but is only 31-17. Ergo, the tiebreaker goes to whoever has the most overall correct straight-up picks, which goes to Brady is free. So congratulations to Team Wallner on their record-setting week 3, and for Brady is free, as well as a tip of the hat to GioKnows for being the overall leaders. Also, the top 4 is only separated by 3 points right now. I'll take this opportunity to remind you that if you go to the description of this video, you're going to find all of my against the spread and over-under plays for week 4. You're going to find information on joining the Bridgewater's finest pick'em pool. You're going to find all of my results so far on the season and from last week, and a lot of links to other high-quality NFL YouTube prognosticators, as well as the link to our Facebook page, the NFL YouTube Prognosticators. All right, folks, let's get into it. Picks now for week 4. We're going to start on the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, as we always do, and start at the bottom with the bronze pick, where I am 3-0. My bronze pick for week 4 sees the Detroit Lions traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Now, I said in my video last week that Seattle hadn't earned the right to be 14.5, I believe at the time, point favorites in their game against Chicago. Apparently what I failed to take into account is Chicago hasn't earned the right to not be 14.5 point underdogs. So that obviously worked out for the Seahawks. They got the job done. They beat an inferior team at home and did so convincingly by, 4 possessions. So that's great. They did exactly what their job was. They're going to have a steeper test this week in Detroit. Detroit is a better team. I'm still not totally unconvinced that Matt Stafford is not a zombie. Matthew Stafford, the quarterback that takes more abuse than a chick on the bang bus. Put one up on the board, boys. It's our first bang bus reference. While this is going to be a steeper test, I really don't see Seattle losing this game. I don't see them losing a game at home until, sometime down the line. And I just don't see Detroit as the team to do that. Right now, they're not playing the caliber of football that they should be capable of playing, and having to go into one of the most difficult buildings to win in football. I just like the Seahawks to win their second straight game at home. That's why I'm taking Seattle to beat Detroit in Seattle for the bronze pick. My silver pick, where I am 2-1 on the season, sees the Jacksonville Jaguars travel into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I don't think it would be hyperbolic of me to say that the Indianapolis Colts are one of the biggest disappointments so far in the NFL. A lot of people in the comments section of last week's video, as I asked you, who was the most surprising 0-2 team or 1-1 team or whatever, the Colts get mentioned there a lot. Now, they did come back and gut out a win in week 3, which was excellent. It was a game that was much closer than it probably should have been, but, it was a division game, I believe, and, those kind of games, they are what they are. But the Colts did manage to come back and win that game. Meanwhile, the Jags are coming off getting blown out in New England, which is obviously nothing new to most teams that go into New England. I think that trend is going to continue. Look, Indianapolis's offense is too good to be this stagnant for this long. That breakout game is coming. It's just a matter of when's it going to get here. Quite frankly, I think it gets here this week. I am taking for my silver pick the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in Indianapolis. My gold pick, where I am 2-1 on the season, sees the St. Louis Rams travel to Arizona in a divisional matchup to take on the Cards. On the other side of the spectrum is the Arizona Cardinals, who are one of the most impressive teams so far this season. Larry Fitzgerald has completely resurrected himself in terms of being an impact player on the field and in fantasy, looking like he was a few years ago when the Cards went to the Super Bowl. Arizona right now is walking around like they are the best team in football, and it's hard to argue that. Meanwhile, the Rams are a team that I feel their play has really dropped off since that big emotional week 1 win, and they're going into a building that has been very hard to play in so far this year. The line in this game is kind of big. Arizona is favored by 7 points at home. 7 might be a little too much given that it's 2 pretty good defenses and it's a division matchup, which tends to be close. But at the end of the day, I think the Cards push it to 4-0. So that's where I'm going with this. For my gold pick, I'm going to tell you to take the Arizona Cardinals to beat the St. Louis Rams in Arizona. And my platinum pick, where I am 1-2 on the season, finally got my first win last week, sees the Houston Texans travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Matty Ice, the fourth quarter kid. This guy is on such a tear right now. Julio Jones is, without question right now, the best wide receiver in football, and he and Matty Ice are on such parallel right now. Like, they are basically thinking with one brain, it looks like. Well, I don't think they've played out and out bad so far this year. Houston is a great example of how it is difficult to win in this league without great quarterback play. That's the difference between a team like Houston and a team like Atlanta. I think if you toss on top of that the fact that this game is in Atlanta, and Atlanta has a notoriously difficult building to play in, and they play significantly better when they're at home, I think this thing's got a recipe for a blowout. Meanwhile, Houston's in a position where they really don't need this game. That division's going to be wide open for weeks yet, and they know they've got Arian Foster just around the corner. Not saying that the Texans don't want to win, I just don't think they're going to. So for the platinum pick, I'm going to tell you to take Atlanta in Atlanta to beat Houston. Now let's take a look at the rest of my straight up picks in week 4. Here they come. That's the week 4 show for you folks. Comments, hate, and love, you know where they go in the comments section below. It's time for the comment of the week from the week 3 video, and the comment of the week from that video comes from Stephen Coleman from Half Moon's Picks. Steven starts off his comment with, "Oh no, you jinxed the Patriots." If you'll remember, the Patriots were my platinum pick from my week 3 video. He says his most surprising 0-2 team is naturally the Detroit Lions. He says his most surprising 1-1 team are the Tampa Bay Bucks, which I agree with. Who'd have thought they'd have ever won a game? And his 2-0 team that was the most surprising to him, naturally, the New York Jets. I think that's been a huge surprise to everybody, although they were humbled a little bit last week. Unbelievable 2 weeks. He then follows up with, "I think I'll start betting your CFL picks. On second thought, I think I would rather watch a dental insurance seminar or the LFL, for the uninitiated, the Lingerie Football League. Great video, I enjoy them every week." I followed that up with, what a great idea for season 5, lingerie football picks. So thank you so much for your comments, Steven. You are the comment of the week from the week 3 video. So we're going to get you out of here now on my CFL picks for week 15 in the Canadian Football League season. Last week I went 2-2. So far I am 7-5 straight up picking the CFL. Week 15, I like Ottawa at home to beat Montreal. I like Hamilton going back home off of their bye week to beat Calgary. I like Edmonton to go into Winnipeg, hang up an L on the Blue Bombers, and my upset of the week comes in the Saskatchewan Roughriders going into BC Place and putting up an L on the Lions in BC. That's it for me, Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter. Hopefully I'm feeling better by next week. Week 4 is in the books, and we'll see you in week 5.